see it, baby. The text line's off and running, baby. 610 sold us this BS, and now they're trying to spin it. That's why this station is a joke. Hey.
Still number one and up for Marconi, sucker. Your ears are listening right now, idiot.
All of those are factual. All of those are factual. But you are lying, sir. And I don't mean that in the BS way. You're lying. We didn't try to spin nothing for you. And now there might be some of y'all who can't stand this, but we tried our damnedest to get you prepared for this. Times of the offseason, I have said, hey guys, say it out loud. Bring the offensive line coach who was here last year and promote him to be the one. That's the fix. Go get a guy who's never called plays before, never designed plays before.
And hire the staff for him.
Yeah, hire the staff for him. He brings nobody over except for some other guy.
Chaplinsky, I think.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't think I have that name right, but you get my point. It's a ski for sure.
And listen, I'm not saying that you may have not heard that here, but you didn't hear that from the drive. The drive repeatedly tried to prepare you, even in the face of "shut up, you haters," try to prepare you for the potential of this. So there ain't no spinning it here. We did our damnedest to try to prepare you for that.
You got some poor timing on that old text message right there.
That is not over here on the drive. By the way, Clint, the Texans on a reaction Monday, they fall 0-3, and what's the stat? 4 out of the last 163 teams that started 0-3 have made the playoffs since the playoff has expanded. Only one of 118 in this century have started 0-3 and made the playoffs.
And
so
I think that's the Texans.
It was, 2018.
2018 when they started off, and is that the Colts year where they lost to the Colts in the playoffs to Andrew Luck and the Colts?
Gotta be.
They got blasted.
Yeah. I know it was 2018. I know it was the Texans. That was the last time it's happened.
Was that Watson's first year?
I picked no. I think it was second, isn't it?
I believe so. Yeah, it wasn't his rookie year.
Yeah, because his rookie year he didn't start until week 4.
Yeah,
something like that, right? It was because what's his name? Savage started several games.
Yeah.
Tom. No, I think Tom started. Didn't Tom just make it the half?
in the first game?
I thought that.
Maybe he did.
Yeah.
I was covering the team at that point. I don't remember hardly anything. My memory is shot.
I just remember Bill saying he was the guy. He was the guy, and he lasted a half.
It was halftime. Yeah.
Was it halftime of the first game?
Yep.
Jacksonville, wasn't it?
Week 1. Yep. and then Watson came in and immediately showed some good things, and everyone was like, look at this.
Yeah. Anyway, but that's what they have in front of them, Clint. Is they're 0-3, and now I would say they have the most talent and look like the best of the 0-3 teams left, and I would say they're separate from teams to me, just talent-wise, teams to me like the Saints and the Giants and the Jets and other teams, but they're in trouble, Clint, and we talked about it over the last couple of weeks. Now the Colts go 3-0 and dominate the Titans. And now they're 3 games behind them in the division, and obviously they lost to Jacksonville, so they're behind them as well. They're in trouble, Clint, and I think the big thing that you have, I think, tried to push across since the game ended is this is a different deal. This isn't just a, hey, it's week 3, guys, and let's kind of let them get their bearings and take their time and be. This is more than that.
Yeah, look, I mean, this isn't just a be patient. You know, this type of thing takes time. First time play caller, let him settle in. The guys don't know the terminology. Give them some time to figure it out. Everybody be patient. It's just not. I mean, you can look at it. You can look at it however hell you want to, but it's just not. I mean, the football 101 things this team does not do well. They are not coached top to bottom. This is not a well coached football team. They're not crisp. They're not efficient. They don't communicate well. They're not very physical, contrary to C.J. Stroud's post-game presser. They're not an overly physical bunch. They're not aware situationally of the play clock and the game clock and what they want to get accomplished. I mean, according to the staff, they're not sound technically or mechanically. They struggle in that department. That's all they need to do to get better is work on those. This is just not a good football team. They're poorly coached, from techniques and mechanics all the way to how they operate on a day-to-day basis. It is clear offensively there is zero attention to detail. There is zero accountability in a sense of how you work, how hard you practice, how hard you run routes, and there's zero emphasis put on holding guys accountable that don't run routes the right depth or don't even run the right route at all, which is not surprising because, I mean, you got after weekend just doing his damnedest to protect Nick Caley, who's responsible for all this crap.
You think we're seeing it that bad? Like there are guys just running the completely wrong routes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You got routes that aren't being ran at the right depth.
I get
you got
that.
routes. There's a lot of half-ass. There's call it, and I know it's going to be convenient to say, oh well, these guys they're thinking it's a new offense. Call it whatever you want. I mean, you can't. There's so many things that are bad going on offensively. There's no way to fix this thing. You're running an offense that asks the quarterback to be like elite mentally, snap in, snap out. You're running an offense where communication has to be the number one priority. You're running an offense where your technique and mechanic has to be a huge advantage. You can do more with less. Yes, you don't have to have much more than Nico Collins at the wide receiver position if all those other things are perfect. If your quarterback is I mean, unbelievably aware of every tell that the defense is giving him so he knows how to protect himself. If the offensive line technically, mechanically are unbelievably sound, if the communication is like elite, like you got to have all those things like at an elite level in order for this offense to make sense, and they're just nowhere close on any of the above. I can't think of one thing that they do on an even average level.
And even on average.
I mean, look at I want to look at Nick Caley yesterday and say, hey man, he threw several balls behind the line of scrimmage, and I love some of it. But you look up and like he's throwing a quick screen to Christian Kirk in a press man situation. Both receivers are pressed.
But does
you can't
does the quarterback have the ability to change that?
Well, I don't know.
I would hope so.
But if he doesn't, I mean, either he doesn't, which is bad, or he does and he didn't get it done, which is bad. So either way it goes, it doesn't change what we're talking about.
Because I'm telling you, if you were out there, Clint, and you as a quarterback, and you saw, all right, I know what we got called, and we got press man, there's no chance.
It's impossible to block it. If it's a two-receiver screen like that, it's impossible to block.
You wouldn't just run it, would you?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I would change the play. I would call a run play, or I would change some kind of – I would stop everything I'm doing, change the protection to a real pass protection. I got man out there. Give me a little pick route. Give me some kind of rub route. Give me something out there where I got a chance. It don't have to be – well, yeah, you could do that too, doesn't it? But where I was going, it could be the way you're doing it. Christian Kirk could motion in real quick, keep the same motion on, and at the snap of the ball, he just goes right to the flats right now, and the outside receiver pick him. You got a great route. You got a high percentage throw. You got a great route. But I don't know if those mechanisms are in this offense or not. But I said this last night to Sean, guys, and I think it's very elementary, and it's real. Like, you watched two quarterbacks that the expectations are probably higher than they should be for both of these quarterbacks at this point in time in their career. One guy in Trevor Lawrence. Watching that game, y'all tell me, how many times did y'all see Trevor Lawrence at the line of scrimmage doing dummy cadences, doing dummy calls, using snap count to try to get D'Amico's team? He got them to jump a couple times, but he's using it to try to get them to tip their hand of what they're doing. Who's blitzing? Who's bailing? What coverage are you in?
How many times he sent people in motion to figure out what the coverage is?
He did it consistently through the whole game. I don't remember the Texans doing it once. I mean, the Texans are trying to run a play as the third quarter's running out, expiring, like they've got 20 seconds, like they got 20 minutes on the clock or something. Like it's. I
know that bothers Sean.
Well, yeah. It was when it was happening. You should have heard him. Yeah, it just like I mean, it's just, and I'm at a point where I don't even want to bitch and complain about like what all's wrong. I just want to point out the handful of things that that are – I want to make it very aware to the fans and our listeners. Like, I want to point out the things that are indicators of how far this team is from just doing things sound. Don't forget what kind of offense you're running. Just doing things in a sound manner. And you know how much a dummy cadence would help C.J. Stroud in that offensive line? Unbelievable amount. Do you know how much a tight end that would just chip on that last play on at any time for Ariante Ursher, you know how much that would help him? Yes. I mean, just a little. Not every play. I mean, I do it every play, but you don't have to do it every play. Just when
running back to run by and just hit him.
Just when the game's on the line. And the bad thing is, hell, you're lining guys up there and doing it. They're lined up right there. All they do is do it. They're running. They're avoiding it. The handful of things offensively that they're not doing is just an indicator of how far this offense is. And I can't believe DeMeco Ryans, being the football guy that he is, has overlooked this offense for an entire training camp, and this is the product we get.
And that, while you're on that, like that to me was there were a lot of bad things yesterday. A lot of bad things. There were a lot of bad things confirmed afterwards in some of the press conferences, Clint. But the worst thing was, and we talked about this Friday. You did your key matchups, and we talked about the key matchups. And we said when the Texans have the ball, the key matchup is Ariante Ursher against Josh Hines Allen. And we talked about how big of a deal that is. And I said, but this cannot just be on Ursher. This has to be everybody, not allowing Josh Hines Allen to ruin the game. And not only did they just allow it, they said on the most important play of the game, we definitely just going to allow what they did in terms of not giving him help. And listen, Ursher after the game said he didn't play up to his standard, and he takes full responsibility. Listen, big dog, I appreciate it, but that wasn't on you, boss. That wasn't completely on you. All right, it's clear, man. He lets you know, hey, man, I need some help. I mean, with his play, I need some help. And you just let him go over there. I mean, he was holding on for dear life. If he wasn't getting a penalty, I mean, it was a bull rush speed. It didn't matter. That is wild. We've awful.
Talked, Ron. We've talked. It's the most egregious thing by far that I saw this weekend. It's the most egregious. You've got a rookie left tackle in the game, and you should come into the game with a heavy chip package. You should come into the game doing your damnedest to minimize how many times you put that left tackle on an island. That should be a priority number one. That should be Nick Caserio should walk his ass in there and go, hey, man, don't leave my left tackle that I drafted in the second round. Don't leave him on an island. DeMeco ought to walk in there and say, hey, Big Nick, I don't care what the hell you do offensively, but your ass better have a package to protect my left tackle. And Nick Caley should have multiple ways, whether he could bring a receiver in motion. Hell, they can't separate anyway. Bring a receiver in motion and bang the hell out of the ear hole of Josh Allen. Do it all. Empty the clip trying to help that left tackle. And what do these guys do? They claim every week we start with protection. Every week we start with protection. Before we even talk about route concepts and how we want to attack, every week we start with protection. And your ass can't protect your left tackle with the game on the line. You mean make you even more sick about it, Ron? You mean make you even more sick about it?
Yeah.
Texans fans, you make you more sick about it? It was a base four-man rush. They didn't even play games with it. They didn't even walk the backers up in the gap. The backers were at depth. It was a four-man rush. It was tailor-made for C.J. Stroud to sit his ass back there in a nice, comfy pocket and pick somebody apart. And because the coaches on this team, I'm not blaming it all on Nick Caley, by the way. You got an O-line coach, you got a head coach, you got a court, you got a GM, all involved. The fact that there was not a chip. And the bad thing was, you lined Dalton Schultz up in the hip position right there, and his ass avoided Hines on the way out to run a route. I mean, you ought to be. I mean, it's a crying ass shame that ended up happening. And what you end up doing is now you got your rookie left tackle has to go to the meeting and say, hey, guys, I let y'all down. I mean, that was set up, Ron, for C.J. Stroud. That was first 2-3 series of the Tampa game where C.J. Stroud was sitting back there patting the football, just doing his thing. It was tailor-made, set up for success.
I mean, they gave you could have done it. You should have come in into the game with the plan. First quarter, he showed you he needed help.
Oh, yeah.
Second quarter, he showed you he needed help. I don't know what quarter that was where he had the back-to-back just egregious off, like clear hold that they got called, and then they followed it up with a bull rush in which he sacked CJ. That was a back-to-back. At that point, there is no way that we're doing any kind of, besides a 3-step drop, get the ball out quick without giving him help. And the final play of the game.
Yep.
All through. Just wild. All right.
From a group that starts with protection.